In this example, I'm going to go through grids in InDesign. Very straightforward, not complicated at all. I'll go to the window menu and workspace and make sure I'm set to Essentials Classic. And so I've got my options toolbar up here. I've got my pages panel on the right, just free floating around to keep an eye. And remember, grids are for dividing up your page. So however many rows or columns you want is entirely up to you. But I'm working on an A4 portrait page, which is 210 by 297. So whatever grid structure you choose is up to you. Just make it sort of nicely divisible. So when you come to lay out your blocks of content, it all works quite nicely. But how many rows and columns you have is your choice. And it's very straightforward. I'll go to the View menu. I'll go down near the bottom to Grids and Guides. And we've got Show Document Grid. And we've also got Snap to Document Grid. So I'll do Show Document Grid. And here's my grid. And I haven't got it even. You can see it starts perfectly on the left edge. But on the right, we've got like a partial square here. But if I go up to the InDesign menu and Preferences, and I'm on a Mac here, but if you go to a Windows machine, it'll be under the Edit menu near the bottom and Preferences. And if I go to Grids, I can set up the number of grids. This is the baseline grid, which I'm not doing here at the moment, but here's the document grid. And we have horizontal and vertical. So we've got a grid line every. So now I'm doing 210 by 297. So let's say every 21 millimeters, subdivision 5. And the vertical I'll leave alone. I'll just do OK. And here now I've got a perfect set. This is not square now, this is rectangular, as you can see, but it starts on the left and finishes on the right perfectly. So let's go back to InDesign, Preferences and Grids. And to make it square, of course, I can just do 21 by 21 and subdivisions 5 and do OK. And now it doesn't finish on the bottom exact, but it's now perfectly square. And if I go up to the View menu, Grids and Guides, and Snap to Document Grid, now when I create my content boxes, they will snap nicely. And I can then convert these to text boxes if I want. And now it will all be relatable to the sizes and of the boxes that I make, the grids that I made. And let's change that. Let's give myself some color. It doesn't matter what. There you go. And that's how you use the document grids. As I said, you don't have to keep them square. You can make them rectangular. So my height is 297. So if I go to Preferences and Grids again, and let's say 297 divided by 20 and tab out of that, it works it out for me, so I get an exact number. It won't be square, of course, but that's fine, and I do OK. And now I've got rectangular grids. They start at the top perfectly and they finish at the bottom perfectly. And of course I can then resize these to snap. Oh, that's a rotate. I didn't want that. To resize these to snap perfectly to what I want. There's many types of grid structures, and this is just one simple way. Notice, by the way, my margins are not set up to snap to the boxes, so I should change those as well. And you can change that under layout, margins and columns. I won't bother that here, but you can do. On the left margin, you can see that's fine. On the right margin, it's fine. But the top margin, it's not snapping. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. I mean, depending on how big the margins I want. And you can see in the bottom, I could change that as well if I wanted to. But that's how you do your grid. So it all starts from your page size. So you need to work out what that is first. And then you can divide them horizontally and vertically to whatever you want. And either work it out in your head, or as you saw me before, you can just type in a little mathematical formula. So I could do 210 divided by 20, for example, tab out of that just to see what it is. That's every 10.5 millimeters. How many subdivisions you want is entirely up to you. So I can say every 10 or 10 subdivisions, which is every 1.5, and do OK. And so I get something like this. It doesn't matter how small they are. It's entirely up to you, because you then make your boxes, you snap them to the size you want. And this is your content. This is where your content, your text and your images will be. But that's how you do grids in InDesign.